Time isn't the main thing, but it is the only thing. So, for starting a new chapter of learning, I, Namneet Kaur Grover, being your host for today's event, wants to extend a warm greeting and good afternoon to all of you present here. I hope you all are doing amazing. On behalf of the whole SAMS family, I welcome you all for today's international webinar on the topic Career Planning and Future on Web Development. And to add our guest of honor and today's speaker, Mr. Aman Rajput, it is a great honor to have you, sir. We are grateful for your presence. Also, I see people joining with us. So before I proceed, let me introduce today our organization with you. SAMS Welfare Foundation is a non-profit entity established to work in the areas of education, social welfare, women empowerment, skill development and entrepreneurship, livelihood generation and employability, health, research, culture, international cooperation, sports, environmental protection, and many other similar sectors. We promote healthy lives, a balanced and active community, and strong businesses. So, let me introduce today's speaker to you all, Mr. Aman Rajput, a highly skilled web developer with a deep passion for career growth, leadership, team management, and business development. He is on a mission to craft exceptional digital experiences that not only captivates users but also drives remarkable success for the organization. When it comes to web development, he possesses a strong command of various programming languages such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP. Through his expertise in both front end and back end development, he has the ability to bring websites to life with stunning visuals, seamless interactivity, and intuitive user interfaces.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Naveen. So, good afternoon, guys. So, the time for you guys till now. What are we here today? We are here today. Web development. Web development is something which is, you can say, a need of the hour, a need of the present time, but almost each and every one. Just for an example, how many of you guys go through different websites to order stuff, online ordering, or to search on something? If you guys can have that thing in the chat boxes, the responses, that it will be much easier for us to track that. Thank you so much. So as I was just discussing that we are everyone of us is using websites for online ordering or for shopping. We have Instagram, we have Twitter, we have LinkedIn as platforms where we use it for our applications also and for the websites also. I guess you have also used it. And the thing is that people are nowadays of our age, of teenagers who are just completing their 10th and 12th grade, are now planning to move to the computer science stream, and they are like, okay, we have multiple options. We have artificial intelligence as a skill set. We have machine learning. We have Android development. We have iOS development. We have many more stuff, and one more stuff which is almost the backbone of computer science is the web development. Because if a person who has just completed his degree and is now pursuing a startup, he's planning to do a startup. He has made that all of the stuff that, okay, I'll do this, this is the problem statement, this is the stuff which I'll be doing. Now, what's the first thing which he has to do other than registering a startup? He needs to have a website because he can't interact with each and every one of us. So his website is something which is interacting to us. It's a regular thing that when we talk about SEMS Foundation, they have a website, right? So whenever someone wants to research about SEMS, they just go to the website, they just go through the stuff, and they are like, okay, we have almost all the information about the SEMS Foundation. Correct? This is the very basic thing. So now, how a person can plan their career and how can they think of the future? The web development. So I'll just tell you one small stuff. I'm still in college. So it was told to us in our first year that there is a course in Udemy platform by a creator named Angela Yu. With that course, which cost around 449 rupees at that particular time, a person can learn web development from scratch and can end up getting a package of around 8 to 10 LPA with the help of that particular course only, without a degree. So now you can see that course, which is having a lot of value, which is having a lot of languages also, which one can understand, one can learn, one can implement, and can end up getting a good pay job. Now, I can't say that job is the only motive to do web development because it is something related to my passion also. Now, I have been doing web development since I was in my 10th grade. So I finished my HTML and CSS languages when I was in my 8th grade, courtesy of my school, which they taught us. And it developed a sense of what you can say, curiosity in me that, okay, I have to learn what is the next stage of it. Then I started learning about JavaScript, how to do DOM manipulation, how to do stuff, which is just like giving life to the website, giving almost all the necessary features to a website. Now you guys must be wondering that sometimes you guys try to open a particular website and it is lagging, it is stuck on somewhere. And people are like, no, website is down because of the internet. No, thing is that website is not down. The main problem with is the DOM manipulation because the website, when it was made with the help of JavaScript as a backend, was so that it can store a certain amount or it can have a certain amount of traffic which it can suffer at a particular time. For an example, if you just make a website with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, don't host it. Just by using it on a local host. And if 5, 10 people will be using it, you'll see a major lag because the website is not optimized that particular way that it can handle a lot of traffic. Just for the sake of example, almost each one of us use Google as a platform to search about stuff. Have you even noticed once that there is some lag at a particular time? It happens very rarely when we have our internet issues. But if your internet is okay, you won't see an issue because the platform of Google has reached at that particular level where it can have at a particular time over a billion users on its platform and it won't even lag for a second. Why is this happening? Because of computer science engineers and the web developers all around the world. Just in the recent time, there was a bug which was happening on Instagram. A particular person from India reported it, and Instagram rewarded him with 40 lakh rupees as a prize fund. That, okay, you found that bug because with the help of that bug, a person can directly move into someone's account without even having the password or the email address or the phone number and can have access to all the details. Now, what's this happening? This is just a loophole. It's very, you can say, a very minor loophole, which sometimes happens when we are writing the code of our programming languages of JavaScript and React.js. Now, what's React.js? This is the term which I used for the first time in this interview. So React.js is a front-end development framework. This is nowadays used very widely in the web development spectrum. It was launched in the year 2015 by Facebook, by Meta, to be very specific. And they were like, with this, we can have a new and a very easy platform, easy way to get those people to use React.js as a tool to the front end, which will provide them basic facilities. So now, let's start from the basics. What is web development? What is front end? What is back end? And what is full stack? So let's go with web development. So web development is just making a website with the help of few programming languages, then making it live and allowing users to use it. This is the basics of web development. What are the prerequisites one should have to do web development? First and the foremost thing is HTML. You all have, I guess, heard about HTML in our school times, and there might be a possibility that many of us have worked also in the HTML in the computer practice of our school time, 10th, till 10th only, not till after 10th. You guys may have learned about C++, Python, Java as programming languages, Kotlin also. Till 10th class, HTML and CSS are the basic. HTML is just, you can say, a basic boilerplate code. Now, what's a basic boilerplate code? You can see that there is if we have a plain white screen and if we want to write a text, directly use a pen and we write a text. With the help of HTML, you can align the text and you can give it the inputs and give it the basic functionalities. So you guys must have seen that whenever you are logging into a particular website, and there are some mandatory fields which you have to fill it, right? That okay, if you are not putting out the phone number, can't submit the login form or the sign up form. So what? This is the mandatory field, which is an input in HTML. So if a person does not fill that mandatory field, the form won't proceed further. You just rewrite it to the same page again and again till the time you have not filled the form. Then what is CSS? Full form of CSS, cascading style sheets. Cascading style sheets. If someone wants to note down, they can note it down. What does CSS do? It provides you styling. So it's a very basic, you can say a joke sort of a stuff with the web developers inside the web developer community. That CSS is just giving a newborn baby a new pair of clothes so that it can look beautiful in many ways. Just for the sake of example, when a newborn baby comes And if there are multiple newborn babies, they all look almost similar. Correct? But when we give them clothes, get them dressed, now you can differentiate it. Okay, this one is wearing a black one, this one is wearing a red one, this one is wearing a pink one, this one is wearing a green one. So you can see that they are different with different styles on them. This is what CSS is all about. Giving basic styling, giving beauty to your HTML code or to your website's front end. Now, what is HTML and CSS combined? This is the front end. If someone is just starting web development, if you know HTML and CSS, you are good to go with the front end part because you know the elements of HTML, you know the elements of CSS, combine them, you have your front end of your website ready. If you know this pretty easily, it will be easier for all. How many of us have heard of, how many of us have ever used HTML? I've used it. I guess Navneet, you must have used it at some point of time. What about others? As I'm looking for responses. Used, okay. What about others? Okay, so Ayush, if you can respond in the chat only, please respond. How have you used HTML and CSS? Page link. Okay, good. What about others? Okay, so see, this is page link. Now, when we go further with the web development, it comes under APIs. You can have the pagination stuff. Now, if we are talking specifically about front end now, if we have covered HTML and CSS, let's before the front end, let's go to the third basic and the you can see the most important pillar of the web development, which is JavaScript. If you don't know JavaScript, sorry to say, but you won't be able to earn a single penny from web development. HTML and CSS is a very common, very easy stuff. Go on Google, just write, search on Google that I want to make a website page with login inputs and it will give you a basic HTML. No, you won't have to struggle that hard. But if you have that JavaScript sense of thing, no JavaScript, then it will be easier for you to implement it according to your way. It will be easier for you to use it in your different senses. It will be easier for you to implement the things which are directly involved with the CSS and the HTML part. There, you must have seen in few websites that certain times if you click on something, its color is changing. Right. So why is this happening? Because JavaScript has aligned itself with the CSS thing and it has guided the CSS that, okay, if a user is clicking on the YouTube button should fade its color and should directly redirect person to the YouTube website. Why is this happening? Because the JavaScript is giving life to the person, life to the website. We'll straight up again go with a newborn baby example. A newborn baby is born, we are given him styling, but it doesn't know how to speak, it doesn't know how to walk, doesn't know how to wash hands. Now, who are the people who teach him? So parents. Parents are teaching him how to wash hands, how to greet people, how to stand, how to walk. This is what JavaScript is all about. JavaScript is just like the parent of HTML and CSS. JavaScript will teach the person that okay, if you want to have water, first you have to walk to the kitchen, take out from the shelf, take out the glass, have water from it, from the filter, from the RO, and you have to drink it. This is the process of drinking water. Correct? This is what JavaScript tells it. JavaScript tells the HTML and CSS. Okay, I am giving you this functionality so that you are the front end. So if someone clicks on you, you have to redirect him to the that page, or you have to redirect him to a particular website, or you have to change your color or something else. So I guess now we are pretty much aware of what HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is. Am I clear, guys? Okay, fair enough. So then now let's move on to the front end. What is front end? Basically, front end is HTML and CSS. But if we want to use it, we want to make it more diverse, more easy for us to write the code of front end of development, we can use various frameworks. The various frameworks are AngularJS, React.js, and Vue.js. As of now, and Next.js is also a subordinate part of React.js only. Now, what we can do is when we are using Angular, it's a bit complex, but it provides you almost every functionality. It can provide you logos, it can provide you various font sizes, various logo, various social media handles, and different stuff. It is a much easier, much simpler way for a person to align it because it is easy for us to go for it. Next is React.js. What is React.js? I just told you that it was founded by Facebook and it is a very easy, very user-friendly platform for a person to learn how to use it. So it's a popular JavaScript library for user interfaces developed by Facebook in the year 2016-2015. So what is it all about? So you can have component-based architecture here. So you can have your functions, you can have class components, you can put up the command, you can put up the data, you can align it, you can implement it with writing less number of codes. Next is a virtual DOM, which we do in React.js. It's a virtual representation of the document object model. I have been using DOM manipulation a lot of times. Its full form is document object model. So the virtual DOM. React.js, you can write the code of React in .javascript file also and .jsx file also. What is JSX? It is JavaScript XML syntax to provide you basic add-on functionalities of React.js. Furthermore, in React, you can have reusable components also. Whereas in HTML, you have to specify each and every component again and again. So if you want to make an input box, if you want to make 5 input boxes in a particular page, with the help of HTML, you have to write the code, similar code 5 times for the input page. But in React.js, just write it once, you can call it 5 times so that you can render it on the platform. One more thing is Redux, which is you can say the most beautiful part of React.js because it also gives you a lot of insight functionalities of React.js. So it can be used with Flux architecture or Redux. The community of React.js is very, you can say, very vast, very active. Because just if you guys want, you guys go on YouTube, search React.js projects, and then you'll be like, you can have multiple people, multiple projects, multiple approaches to a similar project only. So I'll just tell you what is a one basic project which one can start from when they're learning React.js. A very basic project is a weather application because in this you can have few components, few hooks, few props which you can use. Then you can have your APIs which you can get it from anywhere on the platform, OpenWindow or OpenAI and multiple sources. Get the API keys. Once you get the API keys, you can have the direct involvement, direct information of the stuff which is going globally. So just for sake of an example, we are making a weather application. And if in your application you have inserted the API key, your weather application is just similar to what the Google weather is all about. Put up a location, it will tell you how the winds are working, how was the temperature, what was the temperature is later, what was the temperature 5 days back. This is what weather application is all about. Weather application is the first and the most basic clone or a most basic application a user can make. And it's very easy for them to get things noticed, get the stuff done. And you can be like, okay, I can have this stuff again and again. And it is much easier for me to learn. Now, once you have done the weather application stuff, now you can move to other big projects just like social media application, social media clone. Now, what is a social media clone? Basically, what social media clone is all about is you guys use Instagram, you guys use Facebook, you guys use LinkedIn and Instagram and WhatsApp and Twitter. These are 4 or 5 popular social media applications which we use on a regular basis. Now, how can a person make a social media application? So, while building a full-fledged social media platform, it's a very complex task. So what we can do, we can set up and structure our project first with CRA. So the first command for React.js is create React app slash app. What this is all about. This is just downloading a library on your system for a particular project in a particular folder so that you can have it, you can have the functionalities of it, and you can use it in various different forms. Then you can do web user authentication where you can have Firebase or Google Cloud as your authentication servers where a person has to verify that this person is a genuine person or not. Then you can design how many pages you want. Just when we go for Instagram, so first we need a home page, then we need a story page, then we need a reel page, we make a profile page, we make a messaging platform properly inside it. Okay, so these are multiple stuff we can have. We have to make the responsive design. So what is responsive design? So if you guys are on your laptops, just open any of the website and just try to minimize it as much as you can. And you will see that the content is very much, you can say, shifting towards another page. It's responsive. The content is not going out. Why is this happening? Because the website has given this much CSS that, okay, it can be responsive in till this manner, till this manner. I guess you must have seen various developers who are when making a project on YouTube are splitting the screens. So at the part of the screen they have the code written, the part they have mobile sort of a stuff. It's not an actual mobile, it's just an inspect element. They're just checking about that how is the responsiveness working on the website. Now let's move to backend. What is backend all about? Backend is, you can say, nowadays there is multiple databases, but the basics of backend lies with only one thing, which is Node.js. And what is Node.js? It's a pre-written code of JavaScript which gives the backend functionalities of a particular application. So what's happening with this now? With a person who has just made the front end and he now wants that he wants to connect it with a database and want it to be more user friendly and wants to make the website live. What he can do is just host the website, just hosting won't work. So he has to make a whole backend website, which will require few programming languages to stack. Now, the basics of backend is one stack, mean stack, turn stack, teen stack, or with the help of MySQL also. So I have just added five names. I'll just try to explain you all five names. So what is Mern stack? Have you heard about Mern stack? Guys, if you have heard, just write yes or you can move to. And have you heard about Mern stack? Okay. So I'll tell you what Mern stack is all about. A Mern stack is consisting of four different elements. M stands for MongoDB. Form is Mongo database. The other one is E, which is Express JavaScript. The other one is React.js. The R stands for React.js. And the N stands for Node.js. Now, what is MongoDB as a database? I'll tell you something. When we are doing something, when we are organizing some stuff, we maintain an Excel sheet, right? So that we can store all of the data here. And then whenever we want, we can directly access it. But just for the sake of it, we have a website, we have made the login stuff and all. Now, if we want to store the data of the user who has just logged in, who has just served, what you can do is connect your database with the backend application so that if Namneet is tomorrow logging into the website, logging into the server, I can have that information that, okay, Namneet Kaur from so and so ID has joined my platform. And you can see that, okay, you can have the count that, okay, person has entered, account has increased. Another person entered, account has again increased. What's happening with this? This is just basically managing the data. So rather aligning the data with Excel sheets or Tableau platform, you can directly have the data on the MongoDB platform. Now, similarly, what MySQL works is it's a NoSQL platform. Sorry, it's a SQL platform which consists of few programming languages. The basics of programming languages as well is, you can say, more easy with the people who do data analysis and who are doing data engineering, data scientists. Why is it more easy for them? Is because it is very similar to what Excel and Tableau is. The interface is pretty much similar, and the functioning is also very similar. For static web developers, it's recommended that you should go with the MongoDB database because it is much easy, much user friendly, and its commands are much easier to learn and to align and to use with. Thing with mean stack is everything is similar. Just replace AngularJS with React.js. Now, when we are working with AngularJS and the backend server, it's a bit complex because Angular consists of almost everything inside it. So then you have to align everything with it. In React, whatever you want, you can download it and you can use it. If you don't want it, delete it. In Angular, if you delete a single line also, the whole website is gone. You can't be accessing it again. You have to undo it or you have to rewrite the stuff again. Now, I've given you a brief what back-end, front-end, and web development is all about. Let's focus on career planning. When a person who is in, just for an example, we can have that, Nandit, what are you doing exactly? What's your education qualifications? And
So currently, I'm pursuing MBA in HR and operations.
I'm assuming you are somewhere around 23, 24.
22.
Relatively a bit younger. For a person who is MBA. Okay. So directly jump from BBA to MBA, right? Or from bachelor's to MBA. It didn't happen 1 year break.
Yes, sir.
So it's most people prefer that, okay, 1 year we can have that industrial experience and then we will move current. So Navneet has been doing MBA. She's having the specialization of HR. Someday she comes across that, okay, in HR, I'm having an interest in HR part. Can I do some side hustle with the web development because I'm having a laptop? All I'm doing is just maintaining the Excel sheet, calling people for interviews, for recruitment, and addressing their issues. And other than that, I don't have that hectic sort of work, and I can have the time so that I can do a side hustle. I can have some extra money to earn. Now, what is Navneet trying to do? She's just searching ways so that she can have a slightly of more income side income, you can say. So she talks to a fellow employee, and he suggests her that, okay, what you can do is you just design web pages for clients, and they can pay you accordingly. And Ramit is like, okay, sounds interesting. So I have some time to learn, I have some time to implement. And in this time of learning and implementation, if I'm getting paid also, it's a win-win situation for me because I'm getting skills also. It is going to increase, it is going to increase the value of my resume and my CV also. That okay, I have a diversified resume. Being in HR also, I'm good with computers, with multiple stuff. So tomorrow, I mean, tomorrow I want that, okay, I've done HR wonderfully, 20, 10, 20 years I've done. I'm happy with what I have done in HR. Now I want to switch. I want to experiment now. I want to experiment with computers. It's like, okay, I have relevant experience in the computer field also. Rather than working in residential for 20 years, I have experience with the skills of computers and now can do the development. What is Navneet doing? Navneet is learning first the programming language, basic programming languages. Then she is going on LinkedIn, she's going on freelancer, she's going on Grammarly and all, Examly also. Then she's putting up that, okay, I am willing to make a website for any of us at a very low price as I'm learning and I want to increase my knowledge about the particular line. Then Navneet finds a person who's a second year student for XYZ college, who's just starting an NGO sort of stuff or saving animals, which almost you can see that majority of NGO people who are starting are related to animals and plants. It's like, okay, I don't have, so he talks to me like, I mean, ma'am, I don't have much funds. Can you make me uh, proper full functional website with a very low amount? Navneet is like, okay, think about it. Then Navneet goes to the project bottom and she's like, this project won't require a lot of stuff because it's just the start and some college one. So the website won't have much traffic. So then I can make it accordingly according to my convenience because the user which who's asked the client has asked me is not given me that for how many user base I have to make. Navneet is having that option that he can charge the client around 10 lakh, around 10,000 rupees for a website in which the data, the users can be around 1,000 at a particular time and the website won't lag. When Navneet conveys this to the client is like, no, I don't have 10,000. I'll pay you 4,000 rupees. Please try to do something. Navneet is like, okay, we're compromising with the money. I can compromise with the user data. So rather than putting 1,000 users at a particular time, Navneet plays smart. She's like, okay, you are not paying me as I want. So what I'll do, I just get out the user base. So from 1,000, Navneet takes the user database to 250. Earlier, Navneet was charging 10 rupees for per user base, 1,000 for 10,000. Now she is charging more for a particular user. 250 users, she's charging 4,000. She's paying that extra money because she doesn't want to make that extra effort. And she knows that, okay, the person tomorrow he needs the increase of the users, they'll have to come to Navneet only because she's the one who has created the website. So she knows whatever technologies, however she has made it. And then she can have that profit again. Okay, I'll just edit few stuff and I'll be paid accordingly. What's this? This is what you can say that a start of web developer first earning is all about. Take a small project, deliver it to someone, make the front end according to the client, design the back end according to your personal need. When you are doing this, you are not cheating someone because the other person didn't specify his needs. If the person has specified his need, be very specific about what needs are all about. So talking about myself, I did my first web development project when I was in my, you can say, second month of my first year. Just joined the college in the second month only. I ended up in an internship of development, not an internship of freelance work only. So I got it through freelancer.com. The client was paying me around something around 3,000 rupees. And he asked me that I have to make a simpler web interface where a person can where a person can search about games and can have the information about the games. So you can say a minor version of Wikipedia, but of only games. So Wikipedia of games that the person wanted. And he didn't specify me how many games he wanted in the database. So I was like, 3,000 is very low because you want me to have the data also, the games. So he was like, tell me what is the price for data of a particular game. I was like, okay, I have to research about the game, I have to put the relevant information, I have to input, I have to read the output also. So my price will be 20,000. Simple as that. The stack which I'll be using is Merl. So that if in future you want to edit it, but you don't want to come to me, no issues. I'll provide you the code. You can get it edited from any web developer and he'll charge you accordingly. He agreed to pay me 18,000. I made the full website. The website was functional for 3 years as of now, still functional. And the data is increasing day by day in the website because when I was inputting, I made it very clear that this website can have data of around over a lakh different platforms, different companies, and the user base at a particular time can be around 10,000. And at that particular time, I was like, okay, this is very easy for me because I've been doing it very regularly. So 18,000 is not a very good amount for this sort of work. But for me, it was good because it was something very easy for me to do. Then I have till date, I have earned around six-figure salaries from clients, from companies, for the websites, for the developer. And this is where you can say that okay, a person can start his career. Just he has to know the basics, the prerequisites, and one more thing, Stack Overflow. Have you heard about Stack Overflow? What is Stack Overflow? If you are writing code and you get an error, I guess Namit, you are in MBA, so you must have been taught about Python or R programming languages, or you'll be
Python.
Python you must have. So when you're writing Python, sometimes you get that error code. Some error is there in the code and it's not rendering. What you can do? Just copy the error, paste it in Stack Overflow. Now the thing is that whatever error you are going through, the same error, a lot of people must have also gone before you, because we can't be the unique ones when we are doing computer programming or computer languages. An error which is coming to you has someday in the past might have come to another user also. This is where you can get the help of that user's mistake. It's a very beautiful saying now that learn from others' mistake also. You can actually use and learn from this mistake in the computer. So when you're using Stack Overflow as a platform, you can have a lot of stuff to change. You can have a lot of stuff which you can edit, you can learn, and you can add your things completely. So we have done the front end part, we've done the back end part, we've done the career stuff also. Now let's move to the business development part, which is almost the end, and it is not very wide. It is very crisp, 3 4 minutes, and then you'll be open for queries. What is business development? Business development is just like a person who has to do management, sales, marketing, and almost everything in which a person can get an individual expertise in an MBA. So there are multiple fields in MBA, right? I mean, finance, HR, marketing, sales, and I guess there are much more. If I'm not wrong.
Yes, sir. Business analytics.
Yeah. So if you are doing BDA as a role or BD as a role, you get hired. You have to do almost each and everything. Can't be restricted to one thing. And the majority people hire get hired as business development executives are from bachelor degrees but not from master's degrees. Because the person who has received a master degree, he knows where he has to go, however he has to perform, and in which domain he has to. But when a person is doing BD, it's like, okay, I can do this also, I can do this also, I can do this also. But in the process of doing business development, his own personal development is gone out because he can't focus on one thing. So it's an example of memory familiarity. She's doing HR. So after a year, her degree will be completed. She will be placed. Might be in Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad, Gurgaon, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and anywhere. So when she'll be an HR, she'll only have to focus on the HR stuff, whatever, however, an HR will do. And then if she wants to learn something else, she can have her personal time also for that. But if I'll do the video, in the video. So that's what I have to do. I have to manage the time, manage the team, which I am good at. I have to do the leadership skills. But problem will be I won't have time for myself because the person who is doing video has to communicate with almost every team, everyone from all the departments. Person who is who's a business developer, business development executive will communicate with the HR, will communicate with the sales manager, will communicate with the marketing lead, communicate with the community leads also. Okay, this is the marketing approach, this is the marketing lead which is doing. Now what you have to do, now you have to do stuff, you have to do it accordingly. And so this is what it's all about. Once you get into the business development role, you'll have very less time for yourself and the growth is very low because companies, what do companies do? Companies are like, we want fresh faces so that we have to pay less. Now, have you ever seen that there is a business development executive who has been working in a company since 10 years? Hardly any. But you can see that there are HR, there are computer developers, there are website developers who have been working for a company for 10, 12 years, and then they are switching the companies. In the same role only, not even the, but the person who has done business development executive as a role as job, he'll switches companies, he'll switch the roles also. And somewhere down the line in 5, 10 years, he'll find a role and he'll be starting with that particular role, whether he'll be going to the sales, to the marketing field, or to the HR field. So this is all about platforms. In my recommendation, if someone wants to start with web development, start with the courses. You don't need a degree, you don't need a college, you don't need a course to learn web development. And by course, I mean a college course, have independent courses. Or just the most simple thing is go on YouTube, search whatever you want to learn, give it time. Things will take time. Once the time you have give the time, you think will be done something definitely. Okay, so now I guess we are open for queries. You can have your queries and we can. And then if Namni, you want to ask something, you want to talk about something, we can have that.
So you talked about a course in Udemy to start a career in web development. So can you please name that course?
Yep, so it's called Web Development Bootcamp by Angela Yu 2023. So she updates the course every year. What you can do, just purchase it once and then you will get the updated course each year regularly on the yearly basis. And it's a very good course. My personal recommendation because you have multiple projects there inside the course. It's a quite good course where you can have the full overview of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the front end back end technology.
Thank you, sir. It was such a wonderful session and a wonderful knowledge given by you, sir. Be it be the front end part or the back end part, each and everything discussed by you was a great knowledgeable thing. And I hope our audience have learned many new things from this session. Once again, I would like to thank you for joining with us and
Only
sharing
so
your
sorry, so sorry. There is a query from Yashpal. This is the only query which I was waiting for. Because this is what all about. This is what we are talking on a regular basis daily. AI taking over industry. AI won't be taking over the computer industry. That's a guarantee. That's a surety. Why I'm so sure about it? Because you can't give regular inputs to the AI stuff. You're giving it a prompt, it will answer you. Oh, agreed. You're giving it almost every question and it is answering you with the fullest. But the problem with that is there is a difference between an AI approach and a human approach. Correct? Simple example of half glass full, half glass half. Half glass is empty and half glass is full. The approach of a human is that the glass is half full so that we can drink it. But the approach of AI is the glass is not full, so you can't drink it. So the AI doesn't know the human emotions, the human nature. And that is something which is required in the computer field very much. Because if you don't have the human approach, you won't be able to do stuff. That's a very clear stuff that okay, if you have problems, you have to follow your further patterns. And patterns are something which can't be learned by AI. Just an example of a movie. Robot have you guys seen the movie Robot of Rajnikant, which came around 10, 12 years ago? And then the Robot 2 also. Now the first part of Robot is like the actor wanted to make a robot which is the same as humans, but he could not put in the feelings. But once the robot developed the feelings, he destroyed everything because the sole goal of the robot was achieving a target. He didn't even consider what can be the consequences. And he almost destroyed a proper city. In the movie only, not in the reality. Killed people, manipulated, died, and many stuff. Now what is this? This is all about AI. AI is something, if you will give a goal to AI, just an example, if today you want to go from point A to point B and there are many obstacles, so you will just find a proper road and you will travel to that. But if you give the same query to the AI, that find the shortest distance from place A to place B, what it will do? It will just crush everything in the middle. It will just directly end up to the final spot. What is it happening? The AI doesn't even care about the consequences, and human does have the knowledge that what can be the consequences and how can we do it. So AI won't be taking over the computer sector directly. Content also AI won't be taking over because in AI you can have that AI approach is different, AI writing is different, and human writing is a lot different. When we try to learn about AI, I've been working with AI for quite some time now. I know that what is an AI. If you just work with AI for 15 days, will know the pattern and how AI writes, how AI thinks, but you can't get to know about what a human is thinking, even if you spend a whole life with a particular person.
Thank you so much, sir, for the answer. I hope our audience learned many new things from this session. Once again, I would like to thank you for sharing your experience, your precious time, and knowledge with us. That added an extra spark to this event and made it even more special. Thank you so much, sir, to joining with us. It was very effective for our audience, a very good piece of advice. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending today's webinar. If you have any additional question, you can contact us by email or telephone. We are happy to provide additional support to you. Feedback link is being shared in the chat box. Please fill this form within 6 hours. Thank you so much for cooperating. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us. So stay connected with us for new learnings. I, Namneet Kaur Grover, your host for the day, signing off. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, everyone, for joining.